Hello, my lovelies. It is time for another round of Have I Read It? So stay tuned. So this is round 22, I believe, of my Have I Read It? And I am nervous about the ones that I'm doing this month. I'm only going to do 2 this month. But we have, it's my book outlet Boxing Day haul part 1 and part 2 from 2018, or I guess it was for the Boxing Day of 2017, but I filmed it or posted it in 2018. But yeah, there are massive boxes, and I'm nervous because my track record with how I've done with a lot of these book outlet hauls has not been great. So yeah. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not new here, welcome back. For those that are new here, the way this works is just I go through and I react to one of my past hauls. They're all from at least 3 years ago, and see if I've read them, if I haven't read them, or if I've unhauled them. And out of the books that I have not read and I still own, you get to vote on which book you want me to read in the following month. So the number of books I will select depends on how many get added to this have not read pile. So if there's 10 or less, then I'm just going to take the number 1 voted book. If there's 11 to 20, then I will take the 2 top voted books, and so on. So there could be quite a few added because of these massive boxes that I have here. So fingers crossed that I didn't do too terrible. As you can see from the thumbnail, I went overboard. I did a lot of going overboard with Book Outlet in the beginning. Yeah. So I have my video pulled up. I've got my wireless earbuds here, and we're just gonna jump right in and get started. Let me actually move this book out of the way. So we got plenty of room back here. All right, let's go.
Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to do part 1 of my Boxing Day book outlet sale. So stay tuned. Okay, so as you can see, I got a lot of books on Boxing Day. I think I ordered like 82 books. So
82 books.
I ordered so much, I'm going to do 1.5 of these boxes today, and then I'll do a part 2 on the other 1.5 boxes later. Because there's 82 books here, so yeah. Alright. I have anxiously been awaiting opening these boxes. Oh my goodness, it was so hard to wait.
I'm nervous.
Alright. Got my receipt here. Alright, let's pull out this paper. So, the first thing in the box I got, because I don't know if y'all saw when I read Macbeth #killing it like a while back. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was great. It was hilarious. And Xander even read it in the readathon that we just did. So I ordered Darcy Swipes Left by Jane Austen and Courtney Carbone, and Cecily Hamlet by William Shakespeare and Courtney Carbone.
I don't recall if I've actually read either of those or not. So give me just a minute. Okay, so the Seriously Hamlet I have read. I actually gave that one 5 stars. And Darcy Swipes Left I also read, but I unhauled it. So I'm just going to mark that one as unhauled. Yay! Not off to a bad start. Go me. All right, continuing on.
Okay, I gotta take this coat off. There. I was getting hot. Okay, so the next book in my box is Minders by Michelle Jaffe.
I know I haven't read that. Well, I'm pretty sure. Let me check, but then I'm just gonna go grab it. Okay, I found it, and this says, in a not so distant future Detroit, reading someone's mind is no longer just a fantasy. This is about a girl who is supposed to read people's minds and discover when somebody's going to do something bad and report them or try to stop them or something like that. So, first choice, if you want me to read this one, vote Minders. All right, next up.
Okay, so the next book in my box is Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac by Gabrielle Zevin.
Well, we started out good. I haven't read that one either. Let me go get it. This says, sometimes a girl needs to lose. If Naomi had picked tails, she would have won the coin toss. She wouldn't have had to go back for the yearbook camera, and she wouldn't have hit her head on the steps. She wouldn't have woken up in an ambulance with amnesia. She certainly would have remembered her boyfriend, Ace. She might even have remembered why she fell in love with him in the first place. She would understand why her best friend Will keeps calling her Chief. She'd get all his inside jokes, and maybe he wouldn't be so frustrated with her for forgetting things she can't possibly remember. She'd know about her mom's new family. She'd know about her dad's fiancé. She wouldn't have to spend her junior year relearning all the French she supposedly already knew. She never would have met James, the boy with the questionable past and the even fuzzier future, who tells her he once wanted to kiss her. She wouldn't have wanted to kiss him back, but Naomi picked heads. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac. All right, what do we have next?
Okay, so the next book in the box is Nevermore by Kelly Krieg.
I have not read that. Hold on. I'm not even sure if that's the first book in the series, so let me check. It is, so let me grab that. This one is a chunker. 543 pages. Let's see. This says, cheerleader Isabel Lanley is horrified when she's paired with Varen Nethers for an English project. Cold and aloof, sardonic, and sharp-tongued, Varen makes it clear he'd rather not have anything to do with her either. But soon, Isabel finds herself making excuses to be with Varen. Steadily pulled away from her friends and her possessive boyfriend, Isabel ventures deeper and deeper into the dream world Varen has created through the pages of his notebook, a realm where terrifying stories of Edgar Allan Poe come to life. As her world begins to unravel around her, Isabel discovers that dreams, like words, hold more power than she ever imagined, and that the most frightening realities are those of the mind. Can she save Varen from the madness taking hold of him, or will they both be consumed by the shadows of his nightmares? Ooh. Okay. I'm kind of excited to read this one. Alright, so if you want me to read this, vote Nevermore. Alrighty. What do we have next?
So I forgot, I actually got the entire trilogy in this box. So we have Enshadowed and Oblivion.
I didn't read either of those as well, but because I didn't read the first one. But I'm just going to mark those as unread and not put them here because they're not going to be up for vote. I would only read the first one. Alright, next.
Okay, so the next book in the box is The Girl at Midnight by Melissa Gray.
I don't know if I've read that one. I know I've put that one particularly on multiple TBRs in the past, but I can't remember if I actually read it, so let me check. No, it doesn't look like I did, so let me grab it. Okay, here it is, and this cover is just so pretty. This says, beneath the streets of New York City live the Avicen, an ancient race of people with feathers for hair and magic running through their veins. Age-old enchantments keep them hidden from humans, all but one. Echo is a runaway pickpocket who survives by selling stolen treasures on the black market, and the Avison are the only family she's ever known. Echo is clever and daring, and at times she can be brash, but above all else, she's fiercely loyal. So when a centuries-old war crests on the border of her home, she decides it's time to act. Legend has it that there's a way to end the conflict once and for all. Find the Firebird, a mythical entity believed to possess power like the likes of which the world has never seen. It will be no easy task, though, if life as a thief has taught Echo anything. It's how to hunt down what she wants, and how to take it. But some jobs aren't as straightforward as they seem, and this one might just set the world on fire. Okay. So if you want me to read this, vote The Girl at Midnight. Okay. I'd like to have a few that I have read come up soon. Please and thank you. Next.
Okay, so the next two books, I believe, are a duology. And we have Scan and Burn by Walter Jury and Sarah Fine.
I can't remember. I may have unhauled those. I have to look. Hold on. Okay, I had not unhauled them and I have not read them, so 2 more unread. This says, oh, and this is, Scan here is the first book. This says, what is the secret behind his father's invention and why are so many willing to kill for it? Tate and his father don't exactly get along. As Tate sees it, his father has unreasonably high expectations for Tate to be the best at everything. Tate finally learns what he's being prepared for when he steals one of his dad's odd tech inventions and mercenaries ambush his school, killing his father and sending Tate on the run from aliens who look just like humans. All Tate knows, like how to make weapons out of oranges and lighter fluid, may not be enough to save him as he's plunged into a secret interspecies conflict that's been going on for centuries. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote Scan. All right, next.
Okay, next we have I Remember You by Kathleen DeVitt Bell.
I don't think I've read that one. Let me find it. You know, those first 2 books that I actually had read and unhauled put me into a false sense of security. It lulled me in, and I don't think I've read anything else since that. Okay, here it is. This says, a love that cannot be forgotten, a destiny that cannot be ignored. Lucas and Juliet couldn't be more different. Lucas is headed to the Marine Corps the moment high school is over. Juliet is a straight-A student. Her college trajectory has been planned for years. But from the moment they meet, it's like they were meant to be together. Like they were always meant to be together. Lucas swears he remembers their first kiss, their first dance, their first fight, everything that's going to happen between them. How does he know all this? Because he's already lived it, or so he says. Now Juliet doesn't know whether to be afraid for herself or for Lucas, because as Lucas's memories grow more frequent, they also grow more ominous. All Juliet wants is to be safe with him in the present, but how do you hold on to someone you love now when they've begun slipping away from you in the future? Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote I Remember You, which it sounds really interesting. I'm definitely interested in a few of these. They've been on my shelves a very long time though. All right, next up.
Okay, the next book in the box is The Lost Little Blue Envelope, which is the sequel to 13 Little Blue Envelopes by Maureen Johnson.
I have not read that. And I think it's actually the last Little Blue Envelope, not the Lost. But it could be the Lost. But I think it's the last. Okay, so I just read the 13 Little Blue Envelopes. So I would very much be excited to read the last Little Blue Envelope. Ooh, hold on. Okay, I looked it up on Goodreads just to make sure that I'm reading this title right, and it is the last Little Blue Envelope. And the, let's see, 13 Little Blue Envelopes is about a girl named Jenny whose aunt has passed away, but before she passed away, she wrote Jenny 13 different letters, and the first letter contained $1,000 for her to get money for a passport and whatever she needed, and then directions to follow before she opens her second little blue envelope. And it has her traipsing all over Europe, and it's a really good time. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, like all the experiences she had, she got to experience so many new things and see so many new places and meet new people and try new things that she never would have done before, and also learn a lot about her aunt in the process and what her aunt went through. And at the same time, even though it was fun and there was adventure and all that, there was also dealing with that loss of her aunt, who she very much loved. And this is, well, the last little blue envelope. And I'm very curious. So if you want me to read this, vote the last little blue envelope. And even if it doesn't win, I might really, really try to fit that in. Okay, what else we got?
Next is Duels and Deception by the author of Love, Lies, and Spies, Cindy Anstey.
Okay, let me look and see if that is the first book in a series or a standalone or what. Okay, so it looks like it is a standalone, and I definitely have not read that, so let me go grab it. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I was thinking. I guess I didn't really know back then when I bought this book that this was not really my genre. I'm definitely not a Regency, like historical Regency romance kind of thing. I don't really vibe well with that, and that's exactly what this is. It says, in which a lady and a law clerk find themselves entangled in a scandal of the season. Miss Lydia Whitfield, heiress to the family fortune, has her future entirely planned out. She will run the family estate until she marries the man of her late father's choosing, and then she will spend the rest of her days as a devoted wife. Confident in those arrangements, Lydia has tasked her young law clerk, Mr. Robert Newton, to begin drawing up the marriage contracts. Everything is going according to plan. Until the day Lydia is kidnapped, and Robert along with her. Someone is after her fortune and won't hesitate to destroy her reputation to get it. With Robert's help, Lydia strives to keep her family's good name unsullied and expose whoever is behind this devious plot. But as their investigation delves deeper and their affections for each other grow, Lydia starts to wonder whether her carefully planned future is what she truly wants. So if you've read it and you think I actually will really enjoy it, you can vote for this. But if you want me to read this, vote Duels and Deception. We're up to 8 on the stack here. I also don't count the ones that don't go on the stack. So like if I have the first book in the series, I don't count all the series. I like all the books of that series that I hauled. I only count the first one. So I'm only counting 8 right now. But I think we still have a ways to go. Yeah, we still got a ways to go in this haul. Oh goodness. Next.
Okay, next up we have Naked by Stacey Trombley.
No. Hold on. I'm also going to change out my battery because it's flashing. I'll be right back. Okay, I have it and I've changed out my battery. So this says, the best place to hide is in a lie. I can never fit into the life my parents demanded. By the time I was 13, it was too much. I ran away to New York City and found a nightmare that lasted 3 years. A nightmare that began and ended with a pimp named Lewis. Now I am Dirty Anna, broken like everything inside me has gone bad. Except for that for the first time I have a chance to start over. Not just with my parents, but at school. Still the rumors follow me everywhere. Down the hall, in classes, and the only hope I can see is in the wide, brightly lit smile of Jackson, the boy next door. So I lie to him. I lie to protect him from my past. I lie so that I don't have to be the girl who went bad. But someone in my school knows about New York. Someone knows who I really am. And it's just a matter of time before the real Anna is exposed. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote Naked. We're only like a third of the way through this haul. And I'm already at 9. Ah! Okay, next up.
Okay, so the next book in the box is The Enchanted Quest by Freywin Jones, and it's book 5 of The Fairy Path.
Okay, I have not read that. I can't remember if I even read the first book in the series or not, so I'm gonna have to look that up, and then I will just pick the first book in the series that I haven't read. Okay, I don't think I've read it. I think it's just come up in a couple other Have I Read It's in the past. So here is the first book, which is The Fairy Path. And this says, Anita was living an ordinary life until an elegant stranger pulled her into another world. Swept away into a court of magic and beauty, she discovers she is Tania, the lost princess of Fairy. Since Tania's mysterious disappearance 500 years before, Fairy has sunk in darkness and gloom. With her return, Fairy comes alive again as a land of winged children, glittering balls, and fantastic delights. But Tania can't forget Anita's world or the boy she loved there. Torn between two loves and between two worlds, Tania slowly remembers why she disappeared and realizes that she's the only one who can stop a sinister plan that threatens the entire world of Fairy. So if you want me to read this, vote The Fairy Path. Okay, so that is 10 books, and I am sure that there's going to be at least one more brought up, so I'm going to be reading at least 2 books, it looks like. Possibly more. All right, next up.
Okay, next up we have No Love Allowed by Kate Evangelista.
I don't think I've read that. Hold on. Okay, here it is. This says, Caleb desperately needs a fake girlfriend. Either he attends a series of parties for his father's law firm with a pretty girl on his arm, or he gets shipped off to Yale to start a future he's not ready for and isn't sure he wants. And sadly, the last unattached girl in his social circle just made the grievous mistake of falling in love with him. Fortunately, Diddy, recently fired waitress and aspiring painter, is open to new experiences. As the summer ticks by in a whirl of lavish parties, there's only one rule: they must not fall in love. Fun. This would also work for the fake dating trope for Mary Bookmas, so if this gets selected, I'll probably use it for that prompt. So if you want me to read this, vote No Love Allowed. And that makes 11, so I am officially going to be reading at least 2 books from this haul. Next up.
Okay, next we have The Cage, a Holocaust memoir by Ruth Minsky Sender.
I have not read that. Hold on. Okay, this says, after their mother is taken away by the Nazis, Riva and her younger brothers cling to their mother's brave words to help them endure life in the Lodzow ghetto. Then the family is rounded up, deported to Auschwitz, and separated. Now Riva is alone. At Auschwitz and later in the work camps at Mittelstein and Grafenort, Riva vows to live and to hope for her mother, for her brother, for the millions of other victims of the nightmare of the Holocaust. And through determination and courage and unexpected small acts of kindness, she does live, to write the unforgettable memoir that is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. And it's also short. 214 pages. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote The Cage. And I'm going to set it down there because we're out of space up here. All right, next up.
Okay, the next book we have is The Gallery by Laura Marks Fitzgerald. And I just thought this cover was so pretty.
I have not read The Gallery, so let me go find that. Okay, this says, something is afoot in the Sewell mansion. 12-year-old Martha, the new kitchen maid, is going to find out what it is. Millionaire heiress Rose Sewell was once the talk of the town, but no one has heard from her in ages. She hasn't left her room in years. Her newspaper magnate husband has a staff to lend to his eccentric wife, so he can instead focus on tending to his riches. Alphonse, the footman, knows a great deal more than he'll admit. Martha's ma, the head of household staff, oversees everything, but is blind to the most obvious, devastating deception of all. And at the center of this house filled with secrets sits the gallery, which just might hold the key to revealing what everyone is hiding. Inspired by real-life events and set in the roaring 20s, Laura Marks Fitzgerald spins a tale of mystery and intrigue where no one is who they say, nothing is what it seems, and the answers are concealed in plain sight, if you only know how to look for them. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote The Gallery. All right, next up.
Okay, so the next book in this box is The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson.
Have I read The Name of the Star? Let me check. Yes, I have. Ha ha ha. Okay, and I gave it 4 stars. Finally, another one I've read. Yay. Okay, I get so excited by just like having read one out of the past freaking almost 20. I don't know. Okay, next up.
Okay, the next book is The Wish Granter, and isn't this pretty? It's by C.J. Redwine.
I have not read The Wish Granter. Hold on. Okay, so this one is also perfect for December because one of the prompts for Merry Bookmas is retellings. And I have also recently read the first book in this series, and The Wish Granter is the second book in the Ravenspire series. And the first book was the Shadow Queen, and it's like a Snow White retelling. And I think it stays in the same world, and it's all kind of following the same storyline, but I think this brings in the Rumpelstiltskin characters, and I'm excited. I just love retelling so much. So if you want me to read this, vote The Wish Granter. All right, what do we have next? Oh, also we are officially past the halfway point, finally, in this haul. Hopefully we don't have double this amount of books left that I haven't read. Oh my goodness, hopefully. Okay, next.
Okay, the next 2 books we have The Conspiracy of Us and Map of Fates by Maggie Hall.
I don't know where those are in this series, or if they're like the first and second books. Let me check. Okay, so The Conspiracy of Us is the first book in the series. Map of Fates is the second book. And let's see, this says 16-year-old Avery West's newfound family can shut down Prada when they want to shop in peace and can just as easily start a war. They are part of a secret society known as the Circle of 12, and they believe Avery is the key to an ancient prophecy. Some want to use her as a pawn, some want her dead. To unravel the mystery threatening her life, Avery must follow a trail of clues from the monuments of Paris to the back alleys of Istanbul with 2 boys who work for the Circle. Beautiful, volatile Stellan, and mysterious magnetic Jack. But both boys are hiding secrets of their own, and when the clues expose stunning new information, Avery realizes the conspiracy could destroy her life, if it doesn't destroy the world first. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote The Conspiracy of Us. All right, next up.
Okay, so the next 3 books I have is the Winter's Curse trilogy by Marie Rokowski. So we have The Winter's Curse, The Winter's Circle, and The Winter's Kiss.
Let me check. I can't remember if I've read those or not. Okay, it doesn't look like I have read them, or at least I haven't marked them read. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I think I am, actually. All right, let me go grab the first book. Okay, here we go. This says, they were never meant to be together. As a general's daughter, 17-year-old Kestrel enjoys an extravagant and privileged life. Aaron has nothing but the clothes on his back. When Kestrel makes an impulsive decision that binds Aaron to her, though they try to fight it, they can't help but fall in love. In order to be together, they must betray their people, but to be loyal to their countries, they must betray each other. Set in a new world, The Winter's Curse is a story of rebellion, duels, ballroom dances, wicked rumors, dirty secrets, and games where everything is at stake, and the gamble is whether you will keep your head or lose your heart. So if you want me to read this, vote The Winter's Curse. Hi guys. Hi baby. Hi baby. You can't have my earbud. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh goodness. Oh goodness. You can't eat everything on the table. No, you cannot. You cannot. Hey, Einstein. Oh, I woof you. I woof you. All right, go play. All right, let's see what we have next.
Okay, the last two books we have in this box are the duology of Metal and Wishes by Sarah Fine. So we have Of Metal and Wishes and Of Dreams and Rust.
I have not read either of those. Okay, give me just a moment. What? What? What is it, Einstein? Oh goodness! Oh goodness! Ah! Hi. Hi. How am I supposed to work like this? Huh? How am I supposed to do my stuff, huh? Hi. Oh. Little doggy interludes there. He's desperate for some attention right now. Oh, the book. Here we go. So this is Of Metal and Wishes by Sarah Fine. This is the first book in the duology. This says, there are whispers of a ghost in the slaughterhouse where 16-year-old Wynne assists her father in his medical clinic. A ghost who grants wishes to those who need them most. When one of the Nor men hired as cheap factory labor humiliates Wynne, she makes an impulsive wish of her own, never expecting the ghost to grant it. But he does. Brutally. And I think that's all I'm going to read about this one. So if you want me to read this, vote Of Metal and Wishes. So we're at, I think, 17 books right here. So just a couple more. And I'll be reading at least 3 from this haul. Yeah. Okay, next up.
Okay, now we move on to the half box. All right, so we got some more paper. I actually have to open up the other box real quick to get the receipt out of it because this is part of that order. So I guess my receipt is in that box. Between these two orders, I actually only spent just a little bit under $100, but I got 82 books. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so the first book I have is Charmed by Michelle Chris.
Okay, I have not read that. I can't remember if that's the first book in that series or not. Hold on. Okay, that is not the first book. The first book is Hexed. So let me grab that. Okie dokie. This says, something witchy this way comes. Indigo Blackwood is a popular cheerleader with a football star boyfriend and cool friends. On the surface, her life looks perfect. But when a guy dies violently right before her eyes and an ancient family Bible is stolen, Indy's world spirals into darkness. Turns out Indy isn't just a normal teenager, she has a destiny. And it involves much more than pom-poms and parties. This would also work for Mary Bookmas with the prompt Chosen One. It says, if she doesn't get that book back, every witch in existence will die. You know what? That's all I'm going to read of this. So if you want me to read this, vote Hexed. Okay. Next up we have...
Okay, so the next two books kind of made me a little sad. I actually had the hardcover of both of these in my cart, like before Boxing Day. Like I had this particular order already ready before Boxing Day. And so when it turned 10 o'clock, I was trying to put my order in. And things were selling out so insanely fast that things that I had in my cart were just gone, and I had to go and like try to find new stuff to add to my cart so that I could get to the limit that I wanted to be at in the time. Okay. I had the hardcovers of The Wrath and the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Adelaide.
Okay, so I've read The Wrath and the Dawn, and I've unhauled that particular copy of The Rose and the Dagger. We'll see another copy. We'll see multiple copies. We really will see multiple copies of The Rose and the Dagger, because my dumb self kept forgetting which one I had the hardcover of. And so I kept buying the hardcover of The Rose and Dagger. Eventually I ended up unhauling all of those because I wasn't able to find the matching hardcover for The Wrath and the Dawn. So I unhauled those and bought the paperback of The Rose and the Dagger. Yeah. So one read, one unhauled. Continuing on.
Okay, so this is another one where I kind of lost out on some of what I had ordered. I actually had ordered the entire Maids of Honor trilogy, but all I ended up actually getting was the second book, which is Maid of Deception.
Okay, I have not read any of the Maids of Honor books. I think Maids of Honor is the first one. Let me check. And I do own all 3 books. I don't know if there's more than 3, but I own the first 3 books. So let me grab the first one, which is actually called Maid of Secrets. Hold on. This says, if God won't save the queen, they will. Orphan Meg Fellows makes her living picking pockets until she steals from the wrong nobleman. Instead of rotting in prison like she expects, she's whisked away to the court of Queen Elizabeth and pressed into royal service as a spy. With a fake noble identity, Meg joins 4 other remarkable girls in the Maids of Honor, the Queen's secret society of protectors. That's all I'm going to read about that. So if you want me to read this, vote Maid of Secrets. And it's Maid, M-A-I-D. Oh, I just counted. We're at 19 right now. So 2 more books get added to that, and I'm going to have to read at least 3. But I am getting close to the end of this haul, so fingers crossed. Next up.
Okay, so the next book we have is Disclaimer by Renee Knight.
I have not read that. Let me go get it. Okay, here it is. Let's see. What if you realized the terrifying book you were reading was all about you? A brilliantly conceived, addictive psychological thriller about a woman haunted by secrets and the price she's willing to pay for concealing the truth. When a mysterious novel appears at Catherine Ravenscroft's bedside, she is curious. She has no idea who might have sent her The Perfect Stranger or how it ended up on her nightstand. At first, she's intrigued by the suspenseful story that unfolds. And then she realizes this isn't fiction. The Perfect Stranger recreates in vivid, unmistakable detail the day Catherine became hostage to a dark secret, a secret that only one other person knew, and that person is dead. Now that the past Catherine so desperately wants to forget is catching up with her, her world is falling apart. Plunged into a living nightmare, she knows that her only hope is to confront what really happened on that terrible day, even if the shocking truth may destroy her. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote Disclaimer. Okay, that puts us at 20. Hopefully I've read everything else. Here we go.
Okay, so we're just going to do a couple more and then we'll cut this and do the rest for part 2. Okay, so the next book is Like No Other by Una LaMarche.
I have not read that. Let me get it. Here we go. Deborah is a consummate good girl who has never challenged the ways of her strict Hasidic upbringing. Jackson is a fun-loving, book-smart nerd who has never been uncomfortable around girls, unless you count his 4 younger sisters. They've spent their entire lives in Brooklyn on opposite sides of the same street. Their paths never crossed until one day they did. When a hurricane strikes the Northeast, the pair becomes stranded in an elevator together, where fate leaves them no choice but to make an otherwise risky connection. Though the relationship is strictly forbidden, Deborah and Jackson arrange secret meetings and risk everything to be together. But how far can they go? Just how much are they willing to give up? In the timeless tradition of West Side Story, while fitting seamlessly into place alongside current bestsellers like Rainbow Rowell's Eleanor and Park, Like No Other provides a thoroughly modern take on romance that will inspire laughter, tears, and the belief that love can happen when you least expect it. So this totally could also work for Mary Bookmiss because we have a bookish character, so it would work for Bookception. We also have, they're trapped in an elevator, so that would work for the prompt Close Quarters. So this would totally work for multiple prompts. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote Like No Other. And dang it, this puts us at 21 books, which means I will be reading 3 books from this haul. Let me just set that one there for now. Can you even see that? No, hold on. There, I'll set it there. I don't know if when I'm editing this you'll actually be able to see these or not, but there's a lot. A lot. Next up.
Okay, next up we have Dead Ringers by Christopher Golden.
I haven't read that either. Oh, also, this would work for that, Like No Other would work for prompt Retellings as well because it's a retelling of West Side Story. Oh, while I go and get Dead Ringers, I'm going to change out my battery because it's flashing again. Because I've been at this forever. Hold on. Okay, I am back and I have Dead Ringers. This says, when Tess Devlin runs into her ex-husband Nick on a Boston sidewalk, she's furious at him for pretending he doesn't know her. She calls his cell to have it out with him, only to discover that he's in New Hampshire with his current girlfriend. But if Nick's in New Hampshire, whom did she encounter on the street? Frank Lindbergh's dreams have fallen apart. He wanted to get out of the grim neighborhood where he'd grown up and out of the shadow of his alcoholic father. Now both his parents are dead and he's back at his childhood home drinking too much himself. As he sets in motion his plans for the future, he's assaulted by an intruder in his living room. An intruder who could be the twin he doesn't have. In an elegant hotel, Tess will find mystery and terror in her own reflection. Outside a famed mansion on Beacon Hill, people are inflicted with a diabolical malice, while on the streets an eyeless man dressed in rags searches for a woman who wears Tess's face. Dead Ringers, Christopher Golden's latest terrifying masterpiece, begs a chilling question. What happens when you are not yourself in the truest sense of the word and no longer control your own life? Whom do you trust? And ultimately, who can trust you? Interesting. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote Dead Ringers. Oh, running out of room. Okay. I don't know if that was the last book or not. So let's see.
Okay, so I think that's where I'm going to cut this part off and do the rest of the haul in another video because I'm currently running out of space and battery on my camera. So I'm going to take what's left in this box and add it to the other box remaining, and we'll do that in a part 2 video, and I will get that up as soon as I can.
Okay, so that was the end of that. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to do part 2 on a different day because I'm running out of day. And that video, that haul is even longer than this haul. Yeah. Hopefully I did better in part 2, but I'm not counting on it. Okay, so which books, you can vote for as many as you want, and I will tally them up in the end, and I will pick the top 3 voted books. There's a lot there. So which books do you want me to read? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!